Okay, now I'll specifically get into a few examples. The most powerful, the most credible, the most exciting contribution of Indians is in math. I very jokingly say that the biggest number that I needed 10 years back was what is called 1.76 into 10 power 13. This is called A Raja index of corruption. 1,76,000 crore is difficult to say. You can use a scientific notation, 1.76 into 10 power 13. That is 1 lakh 7, I can, for ITD you will go mad. 176, I don't know, I have to put some 11 zeros after that. Today we have taken it for granted. Who found this scientific notation? Who said 10 power 13? Indians. When did they say? Shankaracharya in his Yoga Sutra, Bhashya, for his Yoga Sutra Bhashya, he says, in Shankaracharya's Bhashyas, there are only two characters, Devadatta and Somadatta. So he says, see, there is this Devadatta. Casually Shankaracharya's Bhashya and Yoga Bhashya. See, there is somebody called Devadatta. The Devadatta is a son for somebody, father for somebody, brother for somebody. He writes like that. And then he says, you know how it is? This is exactly like how the number changes its value depending upon which place it is. Place value system of numbers, Shankaracharya writes in his Bhashya. Westerners did not know place value of numbers until 1700 or 1600 or whatever. In his Bhashya he writes, Gautama Buddha, he married, after that he became Buddha, he was the prince of Kapilavastu. He married Yashodhara. His marriage, Swayamvara was a quiz on mathematics. So I tell my students, none of you guys will get married. Okay? So there was a Swayamvara on math. Question was, can you tell me the number 10 power 49, Tallakshana or something. So our Gautama Buddha started from 10 power 0 and went up to 10 power 49. Then he told him, that person who was quizzing him, sir, I want to tell you there is another mechanism of counting numbers which we practice. Then he used a complex 10 power 2 raised to the power 23 times n plus. There is one way. If you put n equal to 0, you will get 10 power 49. If you put n equal to 1, you get 10 power 99 or something. So he says at the 8th level there is a number called 10 power 421. And he reels out all the names. It is available in Lalita Vistarna, which is written in the 3rd century AD by one of the Buddhist monk, wrote that book, Lalita Vistarna. So our contribution to numbers are phenomenal. 10 power 61 you want to see, go and see Yuddha Kanda. Because Rama asked what is the size of the army. So the number goes from 10 power 0 to 10 power 61, Mahayoga or something, that is 10 power 61. Orders of 10. All names are there, you go and see in Yuddha Kanda. Anyway, this is a cover page of my book actually, I really was fond of this. This is called Senachiti, Yajna-Vedi. This is one of the Yajna-Vedis, right? And there are 77 such Yajna-Vedis. If you go to Pune, you can see it. There is a museum in which, they have preserved some of them. Some shapes are quite awkward. This is also not necessarily a very nice shape. But the point is, it took 8 hours for me to get this figure. Because I read that this is not easy to construct. You should use only 200 bricks, not 199, not 201. There are constraints. You have to build this with exactly 200 bricks. And I knew what are the 5 different shapes of bricks. This much information I had. So I spent about 8 hours to get this structure finally. Okay? So this is what it is. So you have the head, you have the body, you have the right tail, left tail and right wing, left wing and the tail. And this is the what brick I have called as B1, B2, B3, B4, B5. These 5 different bricks in this many numbers you have to use to build this. That's all fine. Now the question is, how will you get these structures? How will you get a rhombus? How will you get a square? How will you get these are all slightly, fortunately, you have a kurma. Kurma shapes and all is not rectilinear like this. You have the arc. So you need to know radians and arc and etc. etc. How do you do that? Simple problem. You have, Garhapatya, Ahavaniya and Dakshina. 3 of them are there. Garhapatya, I think, is round. Ahavaniya is, I think, square. One of them is round and square. But there is a constraint there. The area of the square must be exactly equal to the area of the circle of that Vedi. Which means you have to solve a problem called pi r square is equal to a square. If a is the side of the square, r is the radius of the circle, you need to solve the solution of pi r square is equal to a square. And if you have to solve it, you need the value of pi. So Indians found the value of pi some 2500 in Bodha and Sulba Sutra. There is an approximate value available for pi. The highest pi is an irrational number. Digits can keep on going. Ramanujam has the highest approximation for pi. You know how many digits? 17.1 million digits. You need a 200-page note to write the value of pi. Ramanujam has his methodology of arriving at the value of pi. This is a legacy of Indians. So, Indians, how did they generate these shapes? In fact, in Chinmaya Vishwadev, I used to teach this. In between, I'll go and teach this Bodhaya and Sulba Sutra, some shlokas and so on. What you see here is actually circles. This is a construction algorithm for a square. You see a square in between, in the middle? A square is generated only using circles. This, in modern terms, it is called cyclic geometry. Why did Indians do it? Because Indians were good in, if they want to generate a shape, they will put a shanka. They will put a stick, they will tie a thread. If you tie a thread to a stick, the only shape you can generate is an arc of a circle. You can take it around. That's what they have done. It's called Sulba Sutra. Sulba is thread. And who is teaching it? University of British Columbia. There is an elective called rope geometry. Indians don't even know such a thing exists. They teach an elective for their mathematics students. University of British Columbia, I saw it. Whether it is continuing now, I don't know. At that time when I was teaching, I searched and I found it there. They were teaching. So Indians are very good in it. All that they will do is, just put a pole, tie a thread to it, generate any shape you want using a construction algorithm, which deploys only circles and arcs of circles. That's how the 77 Vedis were made. That's where I am coming to. That is how the brick structures were arrived at. Cyclic geometry, which we knew 2000 years back, not a few hundred years back.